Greetings, everybody. Happy full harvest moon. My name is John. This is Bella. Bella, hello. So nice to see you.
So happy to be
Welcome,
here.
everybody, to Lunar Alchemy. I'm so very pleased to be with you today because at this auspicious time of the year, we are happy to announce a new platform for Lunar Alchemy to be with Unlock Your Design inside the Academy there. So we today are celebrating the full harvest moon and the new platform for Lunar Alchemy. I'm so excited to have that going on, and thank you all for joining us. If you are watching on Facebook today, we are going to be talking about the full moon as it relates to the shadow of conflict, gene key 6, and all things cosmically astrological, thanks to Bella's intuitive insight. And there's also going to be an open quantum healing transmission. However, because of the topic today and the role of the shadow of conflict, it is important that the quantum healing transmission takes place within a defined container. So in order to receive the transmission, if you're watching, simply click on the link that I'm going to post in the comments here in 1 second and join us inside the webinar. I don't want to be sending out a transmission for people to come in the middle of it or to catch right at the beginning if they don't know what's going on, because conflict is such a powerful subject in human experience and suffering. And I want to make sure that we are generating the utmost safety and peacefulness around our experience of our own evolutionary transition through this time. So that being said, look for the link on Facebook if you're watching. And with that, Bella, I just want to, we've already done a Lunar Alchemy session last Thursday on the shadow of conflict in gene key 6. I wanted to ask you what you feel the significance of this full moon is and how you feel that's what's going on with the full moon and where we are right now in the solar transits.
Yeah, thank you. I already feel the energy has shifted from where we were on Thursday. So I have made a chart for the full moon, which is going to happen about 4 hours. It's 1957, I think, military time, Eastern time. So it's 3-4 hours left. So if you would give me the possibility to share, I'm going to share the chart.
Of course. I got so excited about what we're doing today, I completely forgot to promote you. So silly.
Okay. So here we have the chart for tonight or in the morning if you're more to the east, and here we have the body graph of the full moon. But let's start with the one that has the aspects. So what we are looking at is the shadow of conflict of the 6th, where the sun is, and it's opposite the earth and the moon, and that's what's going to create a full moon. What is really, really powerful is that we are going to be in the last line here of the 6th and the 36th, and we're going to be very much at the last point of the whole zodiac. We are starting in Aries, which is the first sign, and we have 12 zodiac signs, and now we're in the very last degrees. I think it's the full moon is going to be the most full when we are in the 28th degree of Pisces. And as you can see as well, we have Neptune here in the 22. It's been here for a while. So we have very much like energies that are opposite, like we always speak about the programming partners in the gene keys, the 6 and the 36. Well, now there is a lot of focus here on the Pisces side of it. And it feels important that there are some of the things that need to be looked at, that need to be organized, that need to be improved, like that Virgo energy where we're kind of taking the sun is shining on that, and we're making small changes or big changes before we're kind of starting to go into something new. It feels important, this full moon in Pisces, that can feel very out there, can feel kind of like we're floating, but it feels important that we go back to this more personal, social side of the wheel, and we look at what needs to be looked at. What conflicts am I done with in my life? How can I serve my body better? How can I be more integrity? How can I stop giving water to the weed in my life that I don't want to nurture anymore? Who are my true allies? So you can see here we have Venus, we have Mercury, we have Mars and the Sun. All these closer planetary bodies are asking us for that integrity, for those changes, the last changes we can do here in Virgo before we move into Libra. And then of course, relationship, like what's worth serving, who's worth serving and who isn't, who are our true allies. And Scorpio is okay with things dying, with going deep and seeing what doesn't serve anymore. Venus doesn't really like that. She likes everything to be in harmony and nice, but it is a time to not just get lost, but to actually get more practical with the things that have to change. And there are a few aspects, like we have those blue triangles here that are connected with the North Node. And the North Node, it is that Gemini energy about truth and finding your truth and being a messenger for the truth. And you can be that by being in presence in your body in every moment, in relationship in every moment. That 20 is not at all superficial. It's really grounded. It's really present. It's really there. And that's what's asked of us right now. And it's connected here also with that Mars energy of embodiment and integrity. And then here with the anticipation of what's coming, which is Saturn, that there is something here where I feel we were in the 19 for a long time. Now we are actually in the 41s. There's some anticipation, and also some of the things that have to fall and have to die, and some of the Pluto energy that is also aspected strongly right now. And some of the structure that's not going to work anymore. The next round in the circle we're going to have, it's going to be different things that are going to work than what's worked before. I think that feels like kind of a summary of the energy, John.
Yeah. So there were a couple of things that stood out to me about what you were sharing. And the first is that the position of the Earth and Moon right now is right at the tail end in Pisces. And we're about to move back into Aries in terms of the position of our planet. When we began Lunar Alchemy back in February, it was reversed. The sun was in this position right at the beginning of Aries. And even though we kind of began in Pisces, we started a little bit early to catch a little bit of that Lunar New Year energy. The Earth is moving into a new circle around the entire system. The Piscean area is like the great conclusion to this grand cosmic orbit. And so this particular full moon, which is falling on a day where we're in gate 6, in the 6th line of gate 6 for the sun, that full moon is reflecting an energy to us that is going to propel us into our new position, our new cosmic orbit that is just about to begin when we move into Aries. And for me, that's why this particular equinox is kind of such an important and big deal. It's sort of like having an earthly new year. It's the harvest time. This is the harvest full moon. So everything that we've done since a year ago, it is time to complete that process and begin again. And as the earth moves into this new stage of where it's existing, our seasons, at least in the northern hemisphere, are putting us into a state of moving to sleep, so to speak. We're moving into winter. The energies are receding. The life force energies are beginning to recede and reduce. So this particular transition has a huge impact on the energy systems in our body as we prepare to move into this new season and move into the next stage. Now, the other thing that Bella brought up, that you brought up, that really stood out to me was talking about the integrity within our relationships as it involves Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And this particularly has to do with, to me, with Gene Key 6 and the shadow of conflict. What we see in throughout humanity as the shadow is manifested is a protective nature that is the result of trauma received through our genetic lineage and through our individual experiences of life. And this is a natural response to traumatic experience. When we've been harmed or hurt or difficult events have happened, it is natural to respond in a manner to protect those aspects of our inner nature which are not fully healed, which are not fully brought into wholeness with all that we are. These are the aspects of ourself that are illuminated by the moon every night as it goes through its cycle. These aspects of ourselves that are not fully integrated are the ones that are being activated by the movements of the moon and the light it is reflecting. So it is natural to protect ourselves when we have those elements of within that are not healed and integrated. However, as we move through a process of evolution and we begin to integrate some of those aspects, we gain awareness over who we are and what we came here to do. One of the things that is not really talked about very often is that these protective measures that have been put up oftentimes during our early childhoods and developed into personality traits, particularly between ages 7 and 14. It's not often discussed that we have to disassemble those protective energetic structures that were created during that time. And if we don't, what those protective structures do is impact the auras of every person that comes into our presence. And it does so in such a way that it produces nervousness. It produces a feedback loop where a person will want to hide aspects of their own true nature in order to not harm you. This may be something that they do out of goodwill. They hide aspects of their true nature because they're afraid it may harm you. They're afraid that they may be harmed if they share it. They're afraid that their reality and expression can impact you in a way that is not good for your relationship. And when we talk about creating boundaries today, oftentimes we talk about it from the standpoint of the repressive nature of the shadow of conflict, meaning we attempt to control our emotional environment by making what some might call, like an agreement with other people, or setting those boundaries where if you do this, then I'm out, or here are the consequences if you step over the line. There's certainly nothing wrong with agreements. However, when we attempt to control the emotional environment by preventing others from stepping on the protective energy structures we ourselves have created, we're not actually moving into a state of open-hearted evolutionary process. And when we look at the gift of diplomacy that arises out of this particular gene key, what happens is we can recognize an open-heartedness that is aware and conscious of the impact of one's own expression on others. So it's not just about being honest with your own truth. It's about being honest with tact, to share oneself in a way that moves and flows in harmony with the proper timing. So from Bella, from what you shared, I'm really struck by this movement that we're going into with this autumn equinox. Into the Earth is moving into a new stage for a new galactic orbit, and by the integrity that is required to function in relationships with an open heart. Open-heartedness is so deeply valued in our society, and there's so very little discussion around how to maintain an open heart in relationships with others that doesn't engage in these repressive or reactive natures. So I'm really happy to see that these elements are reflected in the cosmos right now, and that, we really have this opportunity to move into a new stage.
Yeah, I feel like I might have two more things that feel important with what you were saying. Let's see. So one is, it just feels important that when the moon in the next few days are coming into this Aries energy, it's going to pass Chiron in Aries. And there is something in this new orbit, like I feel like one of the first places that we're going to be asked to look at is that personal authority. The 21 goes from control to authority to valor. And it has to do with that, the person that remains with a heart open. It doesn't need to control anything, because we can't control anything now more than ever. I feel like we understand that individually we can't, controlling is not going to do. The only thing we can do is to come into our true authority and dare to live life with an open heart. And that's what I feel is going to be asked for us here in the next few days, when the moon is going over Chiron here. And it's asking you, are you standing up for your individuality, for uniqueness, in your true authority? You dare to meet the world with an open heart? Do you dare, then the moon is continuing, do you dare to still feel like you have your own inner foundation when the things on the outside with Uranus here might be unexpected? And here, when we come to the North Node and Lilith, like, even if there is a part of you that feel like a little bit wounded in your versatility, a little bit wounded in your presence, like how deep can you seek that truth that is in you, that truth that is coming when you are in relationship with your true allies, even when there has been failure before in relationship, even if there are people that are not integrity. Like, how much can you dare to have the open heart, your inner authority, and being present, even when things are maybe not happening the way that you think? We are going into time with sudden unexpected changes. And that's where we need to have that inner authority, the inner truth, and not depend on others, but interact with others from a place of inner authority and open heartedness, and not a fear that they can come and, like, you know, or that we must have to control them in order to be able to live the life that we want to live. So that feels, it feels like today, and I think we're gonna want to post the link soon, because I was following some of the comments. Like, really, I believe that this is where we're going. Just the moon is moving really fast, so this is where we're going the next week. So I would say the transmission today feels like it's going to lay the ground and activate the things in our own geometry, so that this can be done in a unique way for each one of us. So maybe let's post a link for people, and I hope that you can, if you've never been on a lunar alchemy transmission, I feel like today, in this full moon of Pisces and where we're going here, in those very more tangible, actually, signs where the moon is going to come in, and like you are saying, always important, John, is going to reflect the sun in the 46. The sun is going to shine on our embodiment. How deeply can you be embodied as the moon is going here, reflecting that embodiment or non-embodiment, and also the playfulness or the seriousness, you know, the playfulness or the lack of being in the right place at the right time. All these different beautiful qualities that we have in the 46, when the 46 dares to play with life, to know that it's going to be to meet life where life is. And so in the shadow frequency, seriousness and failing the easy things where other people succeed. In the higher frequency, it's all about living life from playfulness, from being in the right place, from serendipity, and all these frequencies that allows us to be grateful for life every day, is what I would say about the 46.
Thank you so much for that. Looks like I had I'm not quite sure. I had posted the link on on another page. Anyhow, it should be available there. Let us know in the comments there if you don't see the link and would like to join us for the transmission. And so here is one of the things about what these transmissions accomplish is they assist us energetically with coming into harmony with those things that have come to us from the past, the memory that we carry with us. This can be in the form of our genetic lineage being expressed through us as individuals. It can be in the form of our identification of self with events that occurred in the past. And what the quantum healing transmissions allow us to do is to loosen up that grip of identity that we have on these aspects of the past, so that we can create anew in the moment. And by doing so, by becoming present in every way through our full embodiment, no longer identified with things from the past, it actually serves as a springboard as we move into these opportunities that are going to be provided to us in the future. So what we end up accomplishing through this process is being able to more deeply engage with what is in front of us, while also being able to more easily and more gracefully meet the challenges that are yet lying ahead. So this is one of the main benefits of the transmission. And those of you who are on the webinar who are already members of Lunar Alchemy, we met on last Thursday and received a preparatory transmission for today's transmission. As we look to release these energetic forms of protection that become no longer necessary through our evolution, it's important that those elements that are identified with from the past are fully healed and integrated. And so that is what we did in our last session, which was to clear away some of the energetic patterns that produce traumatic response inside a human. And that exists and is stored in every level of our energetic beings. If you're watching on Facebook and would like to join us, go ahead and just click on the link in the comments, and we will be getting to that pretty shortly here. I wanted to also mention that we are having a special offer for all of our current Lunar Alchemy members, those who have already engaged their solar membership, as well as anyone who joins between now and this coming Sunday. We, as part of Unlock Your Design, our Lunar Alchemy is going to be available through the Academy, and we will also be kicking off a Lunar Alchemy library, so that if you have a particular sphere in your hologenetic profile, or there is a gate in your human design that you really want to unlock and get to the bottom of, you can order those sessions on a one-by-one basis. And that way you can receive those energetic transmissions and receive also our discussion for your own contemplation of these particular energies. And that can serve to deepen your evolutionary process with the gene keys, human design, and really simply just becoming the whole human being that you came here to be. So to celebrate this full harvest moon, I would like to offer everyone who is currently a member and anyone who joins between now and Sunday one of those sessions for free, or the programming partner of one that you desire. Since we've been through roughly over half of the cosmos at this point, we haven't hit all the gates. So if there's a particular sphere that we haven't gotten to, you can choose the programming partner. And this is still an extraordinarily powerful opportunity for you to move forward with that energy, because these programming partners, the sun is shining to the earth, and it's simply one side or the other. Are you looking at the sun from the earth and thinking about the cosmic perspective, or are you listening to Mother Earth and receiving the earth perspective? So that's how the energies of these programming partners work together. And this is something that you can do to really help you move forward with any of those areas. So
one question, John.
Yeah, please.
Because people have maybe watched our new moons and full moons live before, or maybe not live, but maybe they're in Europe and it's already 11. So what if somebody's watching the live after and they weren't able to come into the container? Is it possible to contact you and me and we do send them the recording, or is it once live and then it's done? Like what about today's transmission?
Well, for today's transmission, if someone is watching, is not able to stay on and would still like to receive the transmission, reach out to Bella or myself on Facebook and request that, and I will be able to share a link for you to download that from me. But it is important with today's transmission, because of the nature of it and what we're going to be working with, that the container and the integrity of that container is well maintained. I don't want to send this energy just out willy-nilly. It needs to be something where a person is committed to being present. I don't want someone watching this while they're out in public and kind of distracted by things. transmissions in general, when we receive them, you know, because they happen in the quantum realm, you can be in a variety of different states and still receive the benefit of them. However, I don't want anyone to be going into this particular one unconsciously, because when we generate protective energetic structures to help us feel safe with our inner nature that may have been harmed in the past or may be expressing a genetic form of suffering, our identification with that safety allows us to maintain a certain degree of equilibrium in our experience. And when we release some of those protective energetic structures, we can have the experience of stepping into a state of absolute danger because we no longer have those protective structures present. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're in any more actual danger, because our energetic natures are constantly sending out a beacon of frequency that is always attracting to us our best matches and those things that are going to assist our evolution in the best possible way, even those negative experiences that we may have. So the idea that these protective energy structures actually protects us is somewhat of an illusion. However, that doesn't change the experience for somebody who has identified with those structures unconsciously and then experiences life without them, without being able to expect it. So that's why for this particular transmission, I'm asking that everyone who receives it be inside the webinar so that I can keep this container with the utmost integrity. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
All right, wonderful. When I switched over my screen, I seem to have lost our live stream video, so I can't really see what's going on there. I can just see the I can just see the.
Because I've been on I'm on our live still on the phone. So
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Because I'm stuck in the Facebook that is several seconds behind us. Anyhow, I would love to move into this. Actually, I need to get back to it so I can. Bella, are you going to be?
Turn it off, I think. No, I can't. I can only view the stream or copy.
Okay, I found it. All right, I'm back. All right, beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Welcome everybody that's joined us recently. So nice to see you in the webinar. If you're watching on Facebook, I want to thank you for joining our discussion and wish you a wonderful, beautiful, and overall peaceful full harvest moon celebration today. If you are interested in joining us in solar membership with Lunar Alchemy through Unlock Your Designs Academy, I will post the link in there in just a moment as well. And if you sign up between today and Sunday, you can receive your choice of gate for a discussion and transmission or its programming partner. And but we are going to continue on with the transmission at this time. So we will close off this container with the social media, and I will look forward to seeing you in the future. So thank you for joining us. Those of you in the webinar, please remain with us to receive the transmission here. So we'll see you next time, Facebook.